Doomtrooper? What's a Doomtrooper? Hey,
Good morning.
Good morning, and good afternoon or good evening if you're in Europe. What's up? Oh.
Okay, dog is not doing anything.
No, he's not. He's really not. Cat Cam ain't what it used to be without our most active member around anymore.
Yeah. Speaking of, as soon as we are done here, we are going over to the funeral home.
Crematorium, the cat crematorium.
Yeah, we are going over to pick up the remains of the wonderful Obama cat and bring him home. I got to pick out an adorable urn, and not many of you ever got the chance to formally meet him, but he was the cat who would always stand on the edge of the desk and be like, "This doesn't go here," and knock it over. So we keep joking that to do him justice, that we should just knock his urn over and break it. Just because we know he would appreciate that. But I know that joke's a little morbid, but you gotta laugh where you can.
He would enjoy it breaking though. He really would.
Yeah.
Hi, Res Violin.
Hello.
Yeah, Flanna, I think you are the only person who would have met him for sure.
So a little good news from the life front. I have been planning this forever, but there is now a couch in my office that you guys probably remember. There used to be a giant beanbag here. The beanbag, no matter what, is bigger than you think it is.
It's the biggest beanbag ever.
Like, I've gotten a third of my room back, apparently, by putting a couch in here. And it's really great because I can sit over there with my laptop and work. And there's a projector on the wall so I can watch, like, movies and stuff. But even better, when someone like my friend Flanna here comes to visit, this pulls out into a queen-size bed. So, and it's right by the air conditioner. So it's super cool, super comfy. It's pretty exciting.
We did test the comfort level ourselves, of course, on delivery day.
Yeah, and I keep telling people, when we put the dog on the new bed mattress, he just like smiled really big. So like a week ago, we ordered him a new bed and we told him. We were like, "Hey buddy, we ordered you a new bed. Aren't you excited?" And then a couple days later, this came in. So, it's logical for him to think that this is his new bed. But, we're going to have to break the news to him that his bed is much smaller. Sorry, buddy.
I'm sure he'll be so heartbroken.
Yeah. But it's so nice. I highly recommend to any of you guys who do any sort of work from home, or if you, especially if you do programming, take some time, save some money, and invest in your immediate setup. Like starting with your chair and your desk and your monitors and your keyboard and mouse, and like work your way out. But if you can afford it, like do the whole environment where you sit, because I feel so much more productive when I'm sitting in here versus a year ago when it was just kind of a hodgepodge of different stuff. I don't know, it's nice.
Effie.
Speaking of, I also had to replace my keyboard because my O key stopped clicking. So
not working, you guys. Clicking.
Anybody with a mechanical keyboard should understand, if it stops clicking, it feels weird because it's like click, 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 thud, and like it throws off your whole day. You can't do it. You can't do it. Too mad. It is a Keychron K2 V2. So it's strangely, the Keychron series is one of the cheaper mechanical keyboards you can buy, but everybody loves them, me included. But my V1, the switches were soldered down, so when it broke, they sent me new switches, but I would have to desolder it and solder the new one in, and I just don't have time. And then I noticed that the V2 has hot swappable switches. So if a switch breaks, you can
swappable?
So if a switch breaks, you can just pull it out and pop the new one in and fix it. Or if you want to swap different types of switches for different keys, which a lot of people do, you can do that as well. So I figured, all right, I'll just order the upgraded one. It's more of a long-term thing. But the switches, if you're a super nerd or...
If you're keeping count, this is like keyboard number 12 or 13 or I don't even know.
The switches are Gatoron Blues. I usually do cherries, but Keychron only comes with Gatorons, so... Really nice, though.
How are you gonna survive?
With a nice keyboard?
With the different clicky clacky sounds than you wanted.
Says the girl who freaked out when she had to switch from iPhone to Android.
That's a big change.
Exactly.
Wait a minute.
Exactly.
That's a huge change versus the clickety clackety sounds. Oh my god. That is not the same thing.
How about this? When we place our Instacart order today, I'm going to get you Pepsi instead of Coke.
Shut up.
User experience is everything. What's up, Garrett? How's it going, man?
You still got the click, though. You
no.
get the clickety clack no matter what.
No, it's a clock, or it's a thunk, not a click.
I'm not even talking about the O.
Oh, all right.
I'm talking about the fact that you said it came with blue instead of the cherries and.
It's like driving a shitty car versus your favorite car. Like, they're still cars, but they feel different. You're ridiculous. We're doing good, Garrett. It's see, blue versus red versus brown. It is.
I do know, because Justin, I don't know where it is, but he used to have this like little like keyboard that was only like 6 keys, and each one had a different ring on it, so you could sit there and like clink 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 and like feel them. So I do know that some of them are kind of different.
It was a cherry switch tester. I've never used the opticals though. I'm super interested, Flana. Next time I visit Boston, I'll have to clicky clack on your keyboard. But yeah, I'm a big blue fan. I like the click. If anyone's used blues, if you push real slowly, there's a click, and then there's a clack as it hits the bottom. It bottoms out. So it's like, and the first click is what broke. So all I get is the thud at the bottom, and it threw me off. It was really bad.
Oh, I'm sure it's noisy no matter what.
Now, see,
any mechanical keyboard is noisy.
That's not true. That's not true. You're just used to my mechanical keyboards because I prefer the noisy ones. Well, the noisy is the tactileness. So your fingers get used to the click, so you can type really, really fast like a machine gun because you're getting tactile feedback when it responds. But that also is very loud. So. So anyways, enough about keyboards. The couch is wonderful.
Justin could talk about that all hour.
Yeah, I'll get a camera down and I'll just put different keyboards in front and click them.
He honestly
people can watch.
Yeah.
Does that count as, what is it, ASMR?
I mean, it could. It's a loud ASMR,
if I just put it straight down and type all day, and we'll do it.
People are just like, oh, listen to those blues.
Oh man, those.
Oh god.
Oh my god, are those cherry greens? I've never seen cherry greens before.
So weird.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's been a week.
Get your noggin out of the camera. Like, you lean in and it just takes up the whole frame. Large brain. He didn't say anything. He just did it for dramatic effect.
Speaking of dramatic effect, she punched me in the eye the other day.
I did not punch you in the eye the other day. We were on the beanbag and my hand was resting on the beanbag and your head went down into my hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I ran into her fist. You hear this, guys? My head ran into her fist. She didn't punch me. If you need help, type 4.
You're an ass. Cut it out. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Also, will you please move this chat over a little bit? The microphone blocks the whole thing. Thank you.
Oh man. Yeah, so Julie's not a very good cuddler. She squirms. But she was actually cuddling with me and it was great, and I put my head on her and she squirmed and moved herself out of the way of my head, and all my weight was on her, so my head fell.
Your head is heavy.
And I swear you twitched or something and went, and like, just poof, right in the eye. Oh, goodness.
Fun fact, that is definitely one of the top 5 reasons my ex left my ass, was cuddling.
Yeah.
I was not a cuddler.
So anyways,
that guy sucks though. Get out of the.
I'm adjusting my chair.
Keep moving your head and it takes up the entire frame. Look, enjoy your 20s, you guys. That's all I have to say.
And your early 30s.
Once you hit 35, because you don't notice it. You hit 30, you're fine. Things are fine, right?
Apparently I slept funny and I can only
all it
move my
takes.
body this far today.
Once you hit 35, slowly things start breaking. Yeah. My back hurts all the time. Like, all the time. All right, anything, Doomtrooper? Everyone's like, yeah, I confirm, true. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm curious if anybody here... I'm in a hospital now? Wait.
Oh, God, Thorgal, are you okay?
Thorgal, what's going on, man?
Yeah, you're the same age as us. You got that 1982 after your name.
Thorgal's in the hospital, everyone.
That's not good.
Pneumonia? Are you for real?
Ugh. Oh my god.
Were you being like some badass European going outside and like being
short
like
sleeves?
Yeah, short sleeves, like I don't need a coat? Is that
It's not cold out.
Because if that's the case, I don't feel bad for you. But if it's anything else, then bacterial, not viral. I didn't even know there were differences. Well, how where are you on your pneumonia journey?
I mean, well enough to type, thankfully.
Yeah, are you like on the mends and gonna get out soon, or are you just now getting there?
Ugh. Yeesh.
Because that's no good.
That's no good.
You heard that, right?
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay.
I don't know what that was.
6 days in the... Okay, I thought you were quiet lately.
Holy, wow. That's a bummer.
Damn, dude. Alright, well, keep me updated. Let me know. So I am curious if there are any cards that aren't added yet that people are, like, especially waiting for. Because I'm trying to make lists of cards that I can add now, and then there's, like, 3 groups of cards that I can add after I fix something that they require. Like, post-combat interrupts adds a bunch of cards, and
What?
there's some networking changes that will allow me to play cards that affect the opponent's draw or discard pile, because currently you don't have that information of your opponent. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm adding all the cards as quick as possible over the next 40 days or so. And I wasn't sure if there was any that people were especially waiting for, so feel free to bring them up. Ow.
What did oh man, AG-17?
AG-17. Let's look at AG-17.
Whoa.
Where did it go? Oh yeah. So the reason this one hasn't been added is just because
Panzerknacker?
You'll get there. We currently don't have any way to force you to attack twice in one combat. So I haven't figured out design-wise how we would implement this card. Shoot one warrior twice. I feel like this plays off the required actions. Like when your last warrior is in cover, it forces you to get him out. I feel like what we would have to do is you attack, and then it sets a required action to attack again as your next action, and it won't let you do anything else. But I'm not sure. Maybe there's a way to redesign the card and change it so that the spirit is still there, but I'm not entirely sure the best way to do that, which is why it hasn't been added yet. Surprise attack. Play on your attacking combat. The attacker gains first strike until combat ends. If the defender is wounded, the combat ends. If not, the defender retaliates. Isn't that...
What are you doing? Knock it off.
Play on your defending combat. Wait, are you serious? How did I... Okay, so first off, it's always weird when I go through these cards again, I see cards that I don't even remember being... Like, I'm convinced that Steve is adding cards while I'm, like, not paying attention. So, if this is just the opposite of ambush, there is zero reason we haven't added this. Like in fact, I'm going to write it down right now. Side note.
Wow, go look what happens. You speak up.
I've never seen this art before in digital Doomtrooper. Like, how have I missed this? Every single time I've gone through the cards, I have missed this card.
It's like you're looking at it for the first time?
Yeah.
Well, maybe because it's not a piece of Paul Bonner art. That looks like some Parente shit right there.
I always tell you guys, you'll like report a bug and then stop telling me about it because you just assume that I know. I don't know. Because I have to jump around between... I was telling Julie, like, I work on the client, like the UI, and then I'll work on the rules engine for a while, then I'll work on cards, then I'll go and fix the server API, then I'll work on our shared UI library, and then I'll go back to the cards and forget how they work, or the client, forget everything. So there's so many moving parts. We really should have like 5 developers managing each one of those things. But I'm managing them all on top of my day job and anything else that I'm working on, and like plus my life. It just things. I feel like my memory for the project is like a cheese grater, and some things fall through and some like get stuck. Oh man.
All right, well, cool. Now you have a card that you can
Turn of events. Play on your combatant. Switch the warriors. Modified. Okay, yeah, so this one just needs UI. I can't even really envision what it would look like. I mean, I guess it could be drag and drop, and you could show fight, shoot, armor, value, and you like drag them around. Like you drag the number around to put them in different columns. It's a significant amount of work though I think there's like 2 cards that do the switching. So, if you guys can think of a way that this card would work, but it would look like our current UI, it would use similar systems, then I could totally do it. UI-wise, I don't want to spend like an entire week making a drag and drop stats UI just to add 2 cards. At least not yet. If I finish all the other cards, sure, why not? So I was just looking at concealed weapon. Play on a combatant, equip the affected warrior with any weapon from your hand or from your discard pile if you pay 8 destiny. That one, I don't see any reason we can't add it, and it allows me to... I'm working on the new UI where cards that are playable will show up next to your hand. So during combat, if you could play a card from your discard pile, it would show up to the right of your hand, similar to Magic the Gathering Arena. And cards like Young Guard, who are activatable during combat, would also show up over there, and you'd be able to drag it to activate their ability. So concealed weapon should be doable. Necro visual link. So that is in the other column of...
Oh my god, I couldn't like see the image for what it was for a second. That was weird. I was like focused on the top of the screen, and I was like, is this a lizard?
Off the top of my head, there's 3 columns, I think, of cards that I can't add yet. One of them is cards that let you look at your opponent's hand or discard or draw pile, because that data is not currently exposed to you. So basically, when you play the card, it sends a blank message to the server that says, I'm allowed to look at my opponent's draw pile or discard pile or hand. We'll get rid of the 10 seconds thing because you already have a turn timer. So then the server will respond with a required action, which means you have to finish what you started, and B, it will reveal the opponent's hands in the data. But then as soon as you play the next action, it'll hide it again from you. So it's like an ask and receive. Like you ask for it, you tell it you have permission, it verifies it, it gives you the data you're not supposed to have, and then it takes it away again when you're done. That's not hard to add, but as you can imagine, it's probably a spot that things could break. Like what if someone miscommunicates you in a weird way, and then you're stuck finishing the action, but you can't finish the action anymore because somebody miscommunicated it. Like there's a lot of room for error there, so I just have to be careful. There's a few cards that do that. Isn't Tekron? Oh no, he's from your collection. He's just 30 seconds. We got to get rid of him. But I don't...
He looks like Chet from Weird Science.
He does. I don't think there's any reason we can't add Tekron. We just have to figure out how exactly he works. Like, it says from your collection. So are we going to allow him to get any card you own that's not in your deck? Feel free to talk about that in Discord. I was looking today. So Dizzying Aura. For every 2 destiny this combatant spends, its enemy is -1 to fight and shoot.
Arg.
The only thing I'm not sure about that is that permanent? Because it says this combatant, but it doesn't say play during combat. There's some weirdness there. Like, or is that just an ability he can activate whenever he wants? Or is it only during combat? So I have to figure that out.
And this is how people started making their own rules, you know?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Gang Up, I was looking at today. 1 action, you may send up to 3 warriors with modified V4 or less to attack as a group. They combine their modified fight and shoot. Enemy retaliates against only one of the attackers. So I don't see why we can't do that. You would activate the support card. It would say choose 3 warriors. And then you would choose the 3, and it would add the last 2 stats to the first one and start a combat. Then it would say, who do you want to attack? I like that because I think it would play well in a cartel deck. And you know me, I love the idea of people playing cartel decks. If you could have like 3 cartel special forces ganging up to take down a Nephrite or something. So that one should be addable. So Field Repair Kit, I was thinking, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I was thinking Field Repair Kit could get attached to a warrior, and then if any of his equipment is discarded or annihilated, it goes to the draw pile. So it makes it a lot more powerful, but I don't know. It seems like it might get more use. So let me know if you guys like that, or if you think it should still just be one. Because we technically don't have attachments to attachments anymore. So it would have to be attached to your warrior and choose one of his equipment, which we can do. Or we can just simplify it, attach to your warrior, all his equipment gets returned. Except Field Repair Kit, of course. If you destroy Field Repair Kit, it's destroyed. So, fun fact, Hasty Getaway. I don't know if you guys even realize it. So equip the affected warrior with any weapon from your hand. You may take it from your discard pile if you first pay 8 destiny. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Spoiler alert. It's the exact same text of this card. This happened a handful of times and no one knows how. I know Brian might have done it by accident when he was making the spreadsheet. A copy-paste error. Steve could have done it when he was converting it or editing it. Or I could have done it when I was changing things. So the actual text for Hasty Getaway, I will print here. So the affected warrior returns to its owner's hand all equipment and attached cards. Other players' cards on the warrior are discarded, then remove this card from the game. So it's basically, it's a card that is annihilated immediately after use, and your combatant, it ends combat and your combatant goes back to his hand. Seems like it might be annoying. There's been a lot of discussion of hidden cache. I was looking at Fill 'em Up. So if we change this card to play during your opponent's turn, instead of opponent's draw step, we can do it. So play during your opponent's turn, draw 5 cards. There is no reason we can't do it. But there's also no cost. So I wonder if this card would become a staple in every deck. Because you don't discard till the end of your turn. So playing this during my opponent's turn means I will possibly start my next turn with 12 cards in my hand. Or maybe we lower it to 3. So I start with 10 in my hand. By the end of my turn, I should have to discard once we finally turn that rule on. So it's basically a way to cycle your deck faster. I imagine people would start using this in every single deck. So I'd like to hear some feedback on Fill 'em Up for sure. Because I could add that today.
Effie?
Leverage is interesting. For every 1 DP you spend, opponent loses 1. So this kind of goes back to Reversal of Fortune. It's a similar card, but it's arguably a lot more balanced. He says nope because there are already a lot of good cards as an alternative for hidden cash. Yeah, it depends on how we change hidden cash, though. There's been a lot of discussion lately about changing that card. So I like leverage. Leverage versus reversal of fortune. I think leverage is a lot more balanced. And now that we have the destiny slider, which I forgot that I added, you would play this card and you would just slide your destiny between how much destiny you have and getting the opponent down to 0 would be the max.
This card art pleases me.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I really like this art.
I like it.
I think Steve probably chose this one because there's White Star. It's kind of cool though. This
it's like a shadow standing over a desk with the different factions represented on it.
I'm not entirely sure, and you guys can correct me if you know better, but this might be the first appearance of White Star in Doomtrooper if this card goes live.
In this version of Doomtrooper.
In any version of Doomtrooper.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of neat. Another one I found, Minefield. So play on your defending combat during a fight combat. The attacker is automatically wounded and the combat ends immediately. If attacker is killed by the wound, points are earned. So there are a lot of these little cards that just cancel combat right away. One reason I kind of want to get more of them added is we could start to move them into factions. So Minefield could be a Imperial card, for example. And Hasty Getaway, which is very similar, could be... My brain says Cartel, but that doesn't make any sense, because then it could be in any deck. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing pops into my brain as this being a really important card for the faction. But anyways, if we moved each of these into a faction, then it would give each faction a slightly different way to cancel combat early, which I think is worth doing.
Can you refresh my memory on White Star, like where it does exist?
Russia.
No, but like, was it in Mutant Chronicles books or something, like, but not in Doomtrooper itself?
So, Modiphius's Mutant Chronicles is 3rd edition.
Okay.
And they introduced White Star as the faction that stayed on Earth when everyone else left Earth and colonized the planets.
Got it.
And they united the tribes, and they were basically the remnants of Russia.
But this was way after Doomtrooper was printed as a card
Doomtrooper,
game.
not my Doomtrooper, but the old Doomtrooper is based on 2nd edition.
Got it, okay.
So Earth had tribes.
So Modiphius releases this 3rd edition that has White Star, but the card game of Doomtrooper was at that point, or?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh,
Modiphius came out like 10 years ago.
Got it, okay.
Yeah.
Understood. Thank you.
And the other one on my list, obviously, is the one that was just given to me, Surprise Attack. So that one's definitely going in this week, because that one is dead easy.
Rasputin faction?
Matt, wasn't that a fan... Wasn't Rasputin a fan thing, or what am I... Why do I don't even... What is Rasputin faction? Why is that not ringing a bell? What am I missing? Is that a 3rd edition thing? Because the plan right now is to add... here is the hype... Rasputin faction was super... Oh, are you talking about the Dark Eden factions? Are they one of the tribes? Because I kind of ignore those. Sorry. Yeah, I never liked the Paradise Lost tribes. Anyways, I can't say that they won't come back. But anyway, the tentative plan is to release the base set like ASAP. Let's get all the cards in and we release it. Then, while you guys are enjoying that, I'm going to be working on a mini expansion of about 30 cards. And then that expansion would add fortifications and vehicles to the game.
Oh, vehicles.
Which would be super exciting. What I would like to do, just between us, is...
Just between us?
Sneak in some Ilian cards, maybe for an event, where you can fight against Ilian as like a teaser, right? Then, let's say 3 months later, we do another 30-card expansion, which maybe just adds Ilian. And then at the same time, maybe we sneak some White Star cards in where you can fight against White Star. And we kind of have this trend where we release these little mini expansions that change the game. It adds a few cards for every faction and then maybe teases some new factions every couple expansions. But then also allowing you to like fight against a new faction to like tease you and maybe earn the cards. I think would be really exciting. I don't know if I want to commit yet to doing a traditional expansion. Probably eventually. Being a small team, it's hard. But if the game ends up growing as we leave beta or early access, and we have 1 or 2 people that we can hire, I would like to do mini expansions every like 2 months, 3 months, and then at least 2 big expansions every year. So there's just constantly more cards being added that you can, I don't know, change the strategies and stuff. I think it would be fun. Court of Bones, hello. How does that work with seasons? So seasons are likely going to be every 2 months. So we would probably add the new expansions at the beginning of seasons. So it's possible that we could add like the mini expansions at the midway point or something, but I'll try to regulate it to keep it slightly fair. Can 2 players fight versus aliens or say a kind of mega boss? Not yet, but I have talked about that like years ago. Hearthstone did something really cool at BlizzCon with the Lich King, where they gave him... She's like really staring at me, I can feel it. They gave the Lich King like 10,000 HP, and then everybody could fight against him at the same time, and as they died off, like they could... When you eventually beat him, everybody got a reward. It was really cool. It's like a raid mode in a CCG. And that's kind of why I made my own engine, because I think there's a lot of really cool stuff you can do with a CCG, and if I control the technology, then we should be able to do all of that stuff. I think adding multiplayer, like 4-player matches, is something I want to do. Adding a boss mode, adding events, adding arena, draft, tournament mode, all that kind of stuff is all stuff that I've foundationally been working on. And I think it'll be fun. It's just the game itself has to be stable and all the cards have to be in, which we're finally kind of narrowing in on, which is great. Community boss, I think, would be really fun. How's the tutorial going? So...
Hi, Michael.
I have this nice little list of things to do.
The tiniest handwriting,
yeah.
Guys.
So the tutorial is over here. So it's underneath all the stuff that's been blocked off or checked off.
Crossed out.
Very high on my list. So I'm going to try to convert the tutorial. It wasn't you who made it, because you have a different name everywhere and it drives me crazy. I'm assuming it was, since you have REZ in your name. But anyways, apologies for not being able to keep your 35 names straight. I'm gonna... yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you, Billy Bob Max Res Violin. I appreciate that.
Oh shit, that's the same person?
So the next thing on my list, basically...
Your contributions are badass. Things just take a little longer sometimes with few people working on things, but you've been seen. Thank you.
Yeah, so my non... Okay, so my technical list here is, there's a small fix on my server. So when you send anything to the server, no matter what it is, you send along this identifier that tells me who you are and that you're authorized to control that account. As soon as I receive that, I look up who you are. At that point, I'm going to tag your request with your username and your user ID, the game you're playing if you're playing one, and the action you're trying to take if you're trying to take one. And then no matter what else happens from that point to the end, if everything goes great, awesome. If something goes wrong and there's an error, when I get the error reported automatically to me, it will have all that data attached to it. It sounds minor maybe to you guys, but it's super important. Because if I get an error that says something went wrong with this action, and I look at it and I see "get me out of here" was the culprit, I don't necessarily know what exactly you were trying to do, who you were targeting, who you are, what game you are in, so I can check the logs. Like, I have to spend a bunch of time looking that shit up. So I'm going to try to implement that so it will speed up my bug fixing, like, substantially. Then the next thing on the list is to convert your tutorial into JSON format for our event system. Once I do that, you will be you, or I say the indefinite you, me, developers, or if I tell you how, would be able to load it in the game and play it. But it won't be perfect. Some stuff will be missing. It'll be a work in progress. But from that point forward, it's just, oh, look, I can go off script. I have to write code to prevent you from going off script. Oh, we want to glow this icon. I don't know how to do that yet. I have to write that code. So from that point forward, the new tutorial is in, and then it's just get it to polished and tightened up. So that's exciting foundationally. Then after that, I have to look into Kanji's Lucky Strike to figure out why it's A, acting funny somewhere, and B, not playable during combat, I believe. And that leads me into fixing the Shadow Hand UI. So instead of using the ugly pink UI for Kanji and Young Guard, they would show up to the right of your hand and you'd be able to play them. So those are like the big things on my list that I'm working on. I can test it too. I would appreciate that, Courtney. We need Doomtrooper experts to test it. We need Doomtrooper noobs to test it, and we need everything in between, just to make sure like this makes sense or not to the game. But yeah, just to take a second to toot my own horn.
Toot toot.
I made this engine specifically for collectible card games, and I really. It sucks how much work it is, and there's always the chance that it'll fail or whatnot. And if it does, like, I'll be super bummed, but I'll be working on another card game, a smaller game, using this tech just because the tech is really fun. But there's so much stuff that is in here that isn't as good as it can be. Like, there's still so much more that we can do. Like, this screen is missing the ability to assign avatars, titles, and card backs and versus screens to each deck. So that way you can earn like a special animated Algoroth versus screen. And then you can come into your Algoroth deck and you can say, okay, whenever I play this deck, use my cool versus screen.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of B priority stuff that'll be fun. And that includes localizing the text, getting everything on iOS and Android, and a web version that you can play at work. Shh, don't tell your boss. And did I say multiplayer? Like more than 2 players per game. Draft mode, arena mode, all that stuff. It's all like in the works that I've been working on. No, it's in code. It's all here. It's just some of it's unfinished. Some of it needs UI. There's more work to do. How does it work? Let's see. I don't remember the command. Oh well, I don't remember it. I was trying to remember the command for running events. Oh.
Look at that, you did it.
Yeah, let me get out of there. So there is a tool here. Oh, it doesn't work. There is a tool to load like development events, which is kind of fun. Yeah, doesn't work anymore. Damn it. So there is in 2019, we ran the first event, and it was a Halloween event, and it ended up being
Dark Symmetry?
Yeah.
The Dark Symmetry event.
The Dark Symmetry Festival. Ended up being super trivial, but it allowed us to test. Down at the bottom of the screen here, there was a bar with a zombie, and it said play the Dark Symmetry event, and when you clicked it, it loaded you into a game with a pre-made deck that we defined, you don't have to own the cards, against an opponent. Fun fact, it's the only time you've been able to play against an AI that is not Algoroth. You played Algoroth, and the AI controlled Cybertronic.
That was funny. So I was running ads on Facebook for that event, and we had this Matt made us this badass graphic for it. And it got denied by Facebook because the graphic had I don't even know what character this eye was hanging out, and Facebook was like, no. you cannot use this graphic.
The art is missing.
Oh my god, what happened?
I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. If you guys haven't seen it though, I haven't shown this in a while, the lore card, there should be a big, beautiful art on the left here, and then on the right you get a lot of actual lore from Young Chronicles. And then it links.
You sourced it and everything.
Yeah, and
wow.
it links to the book. So if you wanted to purchase the books from Modiphius, you could click there, which is kind of fun. We're going to be adding a lot more lore cards. As a reminder, so when the game leaves early access and you actually open your packs for the final time,
for the first real time,
we have this thing called the bubblegum system. I haven't talked about it in a while, but it's based on the fact that old baseball cards used to have bubblegum in them. So you'd get your cards and you'd get a gross hard stick of bubblegum in the back as a bonus. So what we're doing is you'll get your 5 cards like you do now, but you'll get a 6th something. Now, most of the time, that 6th card will be...
That 6th thing.
That 6th thing will be coins, crafting materials, lore cards, mission cards, or cosmetics like avatars, titles, or whatever. There'll be a pool of those emotes, yeah. But you can also get variant cards there, and I mean, you can get a free pack there. Like technically, the options are endless, but it's like a little lottery system where you get a little bonus something, and lore cards will probably be fairly common to get as the bubblegum, so that you can collect them. And what I would like to do is use lore cards possibly as a test for trading. So as you get duplicate lore cards, maybe we allow you to trade them to test the trading system and make sure it all works before we move trading to actual cards, which I think will be fun. And then mission cards should come online shortly as well, which are basically just they're wild cards basically. So the most common mission cards you will be able to burn, destroy, and they will add a mission to your mission list. So the plan there is, and apologies for the gender specifics here, but like you're a dad and you work really hard and you help take care of the kids and you help your wife cooking dinner all the time, and you only get to play.
Oh, she's just slaving over the stove.
You only get to play Doomtrooper, maybe 1 or 2 games at night after everybody goes to bed. So you're always behind on your missions, right? The idea with the mission cards is you can stockpile them, and then your wife goes out of town for the weekend. She takes the kids. They're going up to see, your mother-in-law, and you have the house to yourself for the weekend. You can sit here and just burn through your mission cards all weekend and just get all those rewards that you stocked up. But to get mission cards, you have to buy them in the store, get them in packs, that kind of thing. You don't get them all the time. But you can earn them and store them up and use them at your convenience. I think thank you. I think it's a really great way to help people who can't necessarily play 24 hours a day, but maybe you can play once a month all weekend and then get all your rewards that weekend and then get a bunch of cards and craft and have a really competitive deck. I think it'd be fun. So I'm really excited to get working on that. The other type of mission cards...
Hi, Buck.
Hey, Buck. The other type of mission cards is going to be wild cards, similar to Magic Arena. So they'll be rare or ultra rare, but you can get a wild card, say an ultra rare.
Hold on, you have to take a sip of coffee for that. Ultra rare.
You can get an ultra rare wild card, and it would allow you to burn it and obtain any ultra rare card from Doomtrooper. So you really want Alakai the Cunning and you've never got him in a pack, you can burn your ultra rare wild card and get Alakai, just 1-to-1, done. Those will obviously be very rare. But I think that'll be really cool.
Chris, your work schedule is just bananas. You're working on a Sunday. Crazy.
Also, the mission cards can be a catch-all, so we can do like whatever we want with them. So the wild cards are one. Burning to get a quest is one. They could also be tokens for cosmetics, like burn this to get a cosmetic, like whatever we want to reward people with, but it doesn't fit in our little bubble. We could make a mission card that allows us to give you something else. Like, we could use mission cards as entry to arenas. So maybe you have to collect.
Lurking.
You have to collect arena mission cards to play arena mode or something like that. Like literally the possibilities are endless with those, and I'm very eager to get them, but I've been holding off because If I can knock out the shadow hand cards like to the right of your hand for anything that's playable from other locations, the ability to manipulate opponent discard, and the post-combat interrupts, suddenly I can add almost all the remaining cards. So I'm focusing on those right now. And then I'll come back and I'll tweak stuff like that. As well as the profile. We started redoing this, but we didn't get to. We got to add the emotes. And I want to make this where you can see a lot of these in your version, but they'll be grayed out. And if you hover over them, it'll tell you how to get them to help people who want to collect the cosmetics. I want to redo that whole thing. And Res Violin did a really cool demo of adding another column here that was focused to missions. So instead of having missions over here, we could have a really pretty screen that showed you all of your missions that you could currently do. And I like that idea because I envision this page to be like, what do I do now page. It doesn't have to just be missions. It's more like, I want to play Doomtrooper, but I don't know what to do. This would be the page that would say, why don't you do this so you can earn that? And making it a full screen where it covers this whole page would make more sense because it'd give us more room to do pretty stuff. I think it'd be really fun. Been here since 6 a.m. Oh my goodness. Dude, you need to... I don't know.
He has his work schedule changes like every week.
So I'm going to try to push out some really substantial updates soon. But most importantly, I need to be pushing new cards all the time. So I'm trying to keep the list going. Oh, and the last thing I was going to mention was between the suggestions channel, the bug reports channel, and the private player balance channel, which if you actively play the game, you automatically get invited, or I can flag you to be invited if you are regularly seen in there. You guys have a ton of great ideas, and I'm trying to figure out how to best collect that data. So I'm probably going to go ahead with my idea of setting up a GitHub discussion board. And I might do that today. So GitHub added just a traditional forum software. And keeping it on GitHub means there's less places I have to check, which is great. I think I'm going to start that and start inviting some people to a private version before I open it to everybody. That way we can have threads for every card. So when you guys want to argue about a specific card, you can put it in that thread and anybody can show up and reread everything instead of having to scroll through multiple conversations in Discord. I think will help. Miro, is that a community software? I'm adamantly against any more software because we already have Reddit and nobody checks it, me included. Plus there's the Steam forums and nobody checks it. Like, until we have somebody who's going to be our community manager, I can't add any more software because I spend all my time on Discord and GitHub. So that's why I've been trying, and Google Docs. So I've been trying to keep it in those three things so that I can focus the most of my time to it. But maybe in the future when we're bigger, if we have a community manager, we can have like a custom forum if it's demanded and people actually use it. But really at that point, I don't know why we don't just use Reddit. Oh man. What are you doing over there?
I'm looking at our Discord.
Oh, yeah. I want you to know that my wife still has her Discord in light mode and it freaks me out. Like I'm convinced she's a serial killer. Light mode?
Everything I use is in light mode.
I know, but Discord is never in light mode. They even make fun of light mode themselves on occasion. Who uses light mode for anything?
I do. All of my stuff is in light mode. All of it.
I'm married to a serial killer. She already escalated to punching you in the face. Yep. Too Mad gets it.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So yeah,
even YouTube? Yes, everything. I haven't turned a single thing to dark mode. On my phone, on my computer, nothing. It's all on light mode. All of it. Not even lying. Like, woo, that's Discord. Oh my god, it's so bright. It's so bright.
I'd like to also say while we're on this topic that she can't go to sleep without playing with her phone.
No, but I've never been able to fall asleep. Don't even try.
But she keeps her phone in light mode. So if I roll towards her in bed and close my eyes, I can see her screen through my eyelids and I have to turn the other way. And she's like, I don't know why I can't sleep. And it's like light mode in her eyes. Oh my God.
It's throwing off the light balance of the camera. Oh my God. Oh, I am that psycho, you guys.
So yeah, it's been
it's windy outside and something hit.
No, so yeah, I sealed my window with cardboard because it was the middle of coronavirus and I didn't have time to go get plexiglass.
We really wanted an air conditioner though, because it for the most part the weather here is extremely like mild. It's always like 70s, 60s, but like we do have 2 months of hell, and so we got an AC unit in, and Justin did his best to install it, but it's literally like towels and cardboard. It's so bad that, oh, don't show them. No. Oh God. There's a big piece of cardboard there, and oh no. There's literally towels stuffed where like oh man. It's bad. Anyway, so it sounded like the wind blew and like a rock or something hit the AC, the part that's outside of the window.
Oh, I don't know if anyone will appreciate this, but I found this shirt in my closet I had forgotten about, and I love it. So,
Destiny?
It's a Destiny shirt, but it's in the style of Akira, and it says old school, obviously, and then it has the Destiny Sparrow and, you know, an Akira-looking Guardian. The dates on here say 2014 to 2015, so this is an internal dev shirt that they had extra of, and my friend gave me. And
that makes sense. They wouldn't really sell this because it's...
Yeah, but it's like...
That's
it's definitely my favorite Destiny shirt that I've ever owned. And
we've owned a lot of them because Jay was generous. He gave us a fair amount of those shirts.
Yeah, my friend Jay works on the Destiny team at Bungie. But like, Akira is so... I don't know, it's just so cool. And I don't think they'd make this now because they'd probably get sued by Akira.
Well, yeah.
Like the production company.
What does Jerry say to Rick? I don't want any more
Akiras.
Japanese something in my house. Oh, I forget the line. Oh my God. Any more Japanese mangas?
Or animes?
Animes in my house. Damn it, I don't remember the line. Any more animes?
All right, well, so we gotta go get ready because, like I said, we have to go pick up our lovely kitten's ashes from the nice lady who helped us with that.
She was very nice.
She was very nice. FYI, I drove a really nice car, and the cost of her coming to our house after hours was over $1,000. So we best estimate that her full-time job is euthanasia of your pets, but she comes to your home and does it. So she's really doing good service, don't get me wrong. But I average that she's making, or I guesstimate that she's making $3,000 to $4,000 per workday. So she's making somewhere around 25 grand a week.
He's been thinking about this for like, it's been 3 weeks since Obama passed.
It blows my mind. Like, she found a niche for her veterinarian skills, and she's probably making close to 6 figures a month. I was just like, I'm in awe at that. I mean, it sucks that she has to go through so much sadness in her day and be around sadness.
It's a lot of sadness, though.
She's paid very well for it, apparently.
That's a lot of sadness.
Yeah, Buck, about 3 weeks ago, our black cat, my black cat, well, he was mine, now he's ours. The one that used to just kind of sit around behind us. We lost a friend. It was very sad.
We've been together for like 9 years.
So
Justin?
I'm going to be working all day today, trying to get an update out by Monday or Tuesday, and should be more of a cadence, which I know I say all the time, but I had a deadline for my day job for the past 8 weeks or so, but the latter
crazy.
part of that, the project I was working on was the CEO's like darling pet project, like the highest ranking guy at the company. So he was messaging me daily and meeting with me on video twice a week to see the progress, and like,
it was stressful.
We need to get this done, we need to hit the deadline. CEO skipping everybody else in the chain, coming straight to me and being like, how we doing? So I'm a little slower on working on the side stuff because a lot of my nights went to that. But I launched it. It is incredible. It is the greatest React.js project other than Doomtrooper that the world has ever seen. And well, the CEO still hasn't congratulated me, but I'm sure he will one of these days. So maybe. So yeah, I'm gonna go run my errands. Well, my errand. We still don't really run errands because we're not fully vaccinated till next week.
Oh my god. So speaking of next week, so we're getting our second Moderna shots on Saturday. I have no idea how we're gonna feel next Sunday.
Yeah,
we might not be doing the stream.
There's a chance we won't be doing the stream next week. I will announce it because we get the shot. Excuse me. We get the shot on Saturday morning.
Yes, Saturday morning.
So Sunday morning might be right when like the symptoms hit if we get it. So you might just see me. You might just see Julie.
No, I'm not doing it by myself.
But you might not see either of us. And I will post something either way. But if we're not here next weekend, it's because we're dying due to...
We're not dying.
Our DNA and our mRNA are
at war.
I don't know how that works.
The first shot's no problem, Michael. I have not personally heard of really anybody that's had issues. Your arm will hurt. My arm hurt pretty bad. I was actually surprised at how much my arm hurt. Because I've had plenty of vaccines.
Okay, wait, hang on a second. Michael said him and his wife are getting it. Willow is in awe at how many people are eating out. Buck has his shot of Moderna. Willow is talking about her Johnson & Johnson. Props to you guys for believing in science and getting your shots and
to the government tracking chip.
And being surprised that other people are out and about having fun and you don't understand it. Like, it means a lot to have friends that feel the same as me.
Buck had slight chills after the first shot of Moderna.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, you're in the minority, I suppose. I haven't... Most people get the first Pfizer and Moderna in there and they don't feel anything.
So it's really great.
Huh.
It's really great that people are getting this stuff done and this world can go back to normal, and that'll be great.
Well, Michael, I mean, like, the second shot is no joke. For most people, the first shot's fine. Buck obviously might be an exception here, but yeah, we didn't feel anything. Our arms were sore. That's it.
Honestly, I kind of hope I get sick. I took 2 days off of work because I'm the type... You guys know me well enough at this point. Like, if I'm not working on my day job, I'm working on Doomtrooper or I'm working on some third temporary thing. If I get sick, it's like the only way to force me to stop working, and I can just lay on this new couch and I can put Marvel movies up on this projector and I can just freaking veg out for 2 days. I know that's weird and I'm like the only person who wants to get sick, but yeah, it's the only...
Our stream stopped for a second. Ugh. Willow, yeah, his sister got Johnson & Johnson and she was out the next day. She was scared to get the shot, so we went with her. We literally escorted this person to get her Johnson & Johnson shot, and she was really nervous because she has a history of blood clots. The next day is when they came out and were like, we're pausing the Johnson & Johnson vaccine in the United States, but we didn't hear from her. So we got in the car, and she lives in West Hollywood, in the same city we live in, so it wasn't a big deal, but we got in the car and drove to her house, and we're like, make sure her ass was okay.
Buck said, did it replace the beanbag bed?
Yes, it did. The beanbag is actually out in the living room, and it's so funny because it just takes up like the whole living room. It's gonna get packaged up and sent to a friend soon.
Yeah,
but
I'm very we're getting rid of the beanbag, and this turns into a bed, so all my friends can come over and visit after the COVID's done. Very exciting. This is, I think, the first brand new couch I've ever bought. I'm on a roll. I got my first brand new mattress, my first brand new pillow, my first brand new desk, my first brand new couch. Like, COVID's been good to me since I never leave my house. I'm not spending money on anything but stuff for my house. But I'm very excited. I sat all day.
Oh, the fridge, but we didn't have to pay for the fridge. Yeah.
I sat all day in the corner over there, up against the wall. Like, you can see the guitar strap. I just, like, propped myself up with pillows and sat back there and worked on my laptop, and it was glorious. So, I'm very pumped. Very excited.
Obviously. But, yeah, thanks to everybody who is getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
I know it's probably not readily available in all countries, so sorry for us showing off, I guess. But yeah, it's exciting.
So yeah, we're gonna go hang out with Matano a bit, and we're gonna go run our errand. Singular.
I did my makeup today, so now I'm gonna cry all over the place when we get this cat's ashes.
But I will be back working this afternoon on some fun stuff. Sometimes I open Discord and stream. I might do that later on, so just keep an eye out. If you see me dropping into the lounge channel, I might be casually hanging out while I work. Depends on my mood.
Right. Sorry, Ice Lord. Exactly. That's why. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Michael. Thank you.
It's
sorry about your stuff too.
The good news on our cat though is like he seemed fine, and then he didn't, and then he was gone a week later. So like, it sucks to lose a cat so fast, but it's not like he was in horrible pain for a long time. Like we could tell it was his time, and it made it easier to make that decision and have the lady come to the house because, like, he hates being pet or picked up. But like I could put both hands under him like a forklift and just lift him up, and he wouldn't squirm at all. Like you knew he was gone. So. At least they don't suffer in cases like this, and we have the ability as their owners to help them not suffer. It's really hard to make that decision, but you can rest assured after you do it that you did the right thing.
Wish we could do that for people.
Yeah, maybe.
Some of you guys can, depending on what country you're living, but we cannot.
I will be
so morbid.
I'll be back doing some work.
What a way to end the stream.
I will post some info on cards and in Discord to get some feedback, stuff I mentioned earlier today. And don't forget that we give away, it's going to change soon, but
That's so weird, Michael.
We give away 50 acquisition points, crafting points in Discord every day. You just have to run the command. So make sure you go in Discord and run the command and get your free stuff before I change it. So thanks for hanging out. I recommend everybody stick around and hang out with Matano for a bit and see what Doomtrooper looks like in action. Also, I am secretly adding some cool animations to the game soon, but yeah, it's going to be fun. Get some more visuals in the game, I think will help a lot. So I will see you guys on Discord later, and hopefully next week if we're not dead from Moderna.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. See you later, guys.
Bye.